It's really nice to be sharing and having a quiet room. Ooh, it's really nice to be sharing and having a quiet room. Ooh, ooh, do 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 do. 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 And then it goes back to the beginning. I got to meet some incredible people. One of those was Ali Wadsworth. And it was through her music that I got to know her, and through seeing her perform and going to shows with her that I fell in love with Ali Wadsworth.
She was singing, and it was at World Cafe Live. It was a tribute to Queens of Soul.
At Roosevelt's. Probably when I remember like knowing of her and like try to like chime in or something, you know what I mean? And she was like too cool for school, you know what I mean? You know, it's like, oh, I just want to be this girl's friend, like we have so much in common. And it was like, it took a minute, you know what I mean?
She said, hi, 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 hi.
She's such like a Philly staple that it's like, I feel like she's just like always been there.
I was working at the Fire bartending during open mic night, and I was gonna go away for a couple of months, and Ali was gonna take my shift while I was away. But I came back to the open mic night and all the regulars were like, we love Ali, plus she wears roller skates behind the bar. And I was like, well, I guess that's the end of that shift.
I was playing a show, I think it was our friend Steve's birthday show at the Fire.
Ali and I met at the Fire when I used to do the open mic there.
Ali was one of the first people that I met in Philly. I just saw this community in Philadelphia that I was really, really attracted to, and Ali was one of the key figures in that whole world.
Marley, our friends, those two friends, and they had seen Satellite Hearts, and they asked us one night if we could back her up because we were backing up Mama Holler.
I met Claire first. She was the bartender at the Fergie's open mic way back in the day, and Ali was always the cool older sister, the elusive older sister who would come in sporadically and blow everybody away.
She was singing with Andrew Lipke at the North Star Bar. I want to say this is like 2008.
I actually don't remember this, but Ali told me that when the first time that we met, I was like, let's go get pedicures. We're friends now.
I had heard that she was a really great singer. I'd heard her name before, but I was like unprepared for the power of her voice. It was just amazing.
Absolutely ridiculous raw talent.
I remember being fairly blown away by her and Claire's singing and feeling fairly intimidated by them.
There weren't a lot of people, at least in our scene, that were singing with that kind of power and emotion and just strength and soul.
It's like one of those things where it almost scares you. You're like, oh my God, like it was incredible. I still feel that way every time I hear her sing.
I think it was still Vanessa and Kate Bernhardt who were doing backups. I think that was actually one of the first times I had ever heard people sing, like professional musicians sing harmonies. And I remember Satellite Hearts having a band meeting that night about trying to figure out how to sing harmonies and how we needed to figure out how to get that thing happening. And I was like, well, we don't sing like Ali. Like, we have a big problem there, you know? You have three amazing singers. You get them singing together, they sound great. One of my favorite singing trios of all time, I would say.
She wails with the best of them. I always enjoyed asking her to sing with me and then playing softer songs and forcing her to sing in a softer voice, which was always fun.
Run down, go cat fall. Sit down, stray cat small. Run away, dear, ray, dear. Can't make a cat stay. Come here, dear, here, dear. Roll the leaves away.
As you patiently try to explain to me where I've gone wrong. I just have to, you know I'm fine. Oh,
first thing that I felt was jealousy, because she had a way to reach this gritty voice that I wish I could get, and yet still be really soulful about it.
Her voice still gives me goosebumps. I remember the first time I sang backups for her. I remember seeing her before that and being just blown away and wanting to be a part of it. When you're singing with someone or playing with someone who is that talented, it's like that, that energy that she puts out. Plus just everything with her is fun. Everything is like the best it possibly could be, you know?
I can't seem to feel anything unless you are here with me.
I'm usually at the bar if the band playing, even with my friends. I'm just chugging beers and like kind of paying attention. But when like Allie sings, like you pay attention.
I did watch both halves of the 5th game of the 2008 World Series with Allie, which was a pretty big moment outside of Citizens Bank Park when it was pouring rain, and we ended up watching the game on the tiny little TV in a tent with Allie and Claire Wadsworth.
I got to play an Arrow Mingo Smith with her, which was a great thing. I honestly wish that that still was around. That was awesome. I don't even remember the names of all the characters, but there's 3 costume changes, I'll tell you that much. Every show has been like a crazy production, and I've never really met someone that's put so much effort into those productions.
I love traveling with Allie. I love being in the car with Allie. Actually, that's probably some of my favorite moments. The Renaissance Fair was just another great way to see the theatrical side of Allie and how she can really get into a character.
I'm new to Philadelphia. It's a great city. And I'm a professional closet designer. I love my career. My biggest pet peeve is when people rip the pages out of a spiral notebook. It's really irritating. Go Packers!
So this was like the first time Lily and I hung out, really.
It was 2010, Halloween.
Halloween. Lily was Chitara. I helped make her medallion. We were getting ready at Allie's house. Allie and I were the Wet Bandits. She was dressed up as Joe Pesci.
She had a pillow in her stomach and a bald cap on her head.
I was Daniel Stern. I had fake, giant fake feet. Fake, whatever, but...
They looked great. Anyway, this is really, I mean, this really shouldn't go online. Anyway, it was a little awkward the next day, but we ended up just making a joke of it, and it now is one of my favorite things to bring up in polite company. I think any time with Allie, like Allie, it's an adventure, right? Everything with her is some sort of adventure, even if like the little simple things. And I think that even if you're sitting around the house, you end up making a weird video where you wear costumes and do silly things together. And
do you ever go to IKEA with Allie? It's very fun.
After Fergie's, we would often go to diners late at night, and Allie would always offer to buy my meal if I would eat whatever she ordered. You know, like salmon and ketchup with mayonnaise, or just whatever it is. She would buy it if I ate it, and I had to eat it, and that could be the only thing that I would eat. When I got my van for the first time, Allie immediately wanted to drive to Centralia. We ended up not doing that, but she ordered pizza to the van, and we watched Hot Tub Time Machine 3 times in a row. She introduced me to bot flies and chat roulette.
What do they call it? A Secret Santa party. And me and Kirby came. I remember that Reed was being a stubborn dick and wouldn't come out, and you were super pissed and you were yelling at him on the phone to get him to come out. He finally got there and he came, and we had this awesome hang and awesome party after that.
What makes her tick and what she clearly values so much, and I imagine this video will be a testament to it, is the relationships she has with her friends.
When Lily was saying, it's just like everything you do with Allie is just such an adventure. Every show we've ever done, just epic.
Allie was the only person dressed up as Liza Minnelli at the Liza Minnelli show at the Borgata. That was a fun story.
And at the time, her car was having some trouble with some belt. So it would always fall off, and she'd have to pull over, and like the car would stop, and she'd have to like put it back on. So inevitably this happened while we kind of took a detour in Atlantic City. And so we're just like on the side of like, I feel like it was like on a major road, but not a highway. And like Liza Minnelli's just under the hood of the car, like fixing the belt. It was funny. Like somebody stopped to help, like, oh, you ladies need help. And like Liza had it, you know what I mean? Like, she was like, oh, I got this. Just like popped it back on and we got it and like continued on our way home.
I was Christmas shopping and I was driving home and I was flipping around on the radio and her voice came on singing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And it was just beautiful on XPN. And I kept thinking while I was listening to it, damn, it sounds like Allie. That was nice.
We drove around my neighborhood to all the thrift shops looking for a chair. And we found this chair at a thrift shop. And the guy who owns the shop rented us the chair for $20, I think. And if we brought it back, it was only $20. So we put it in the car, we drove it to my house, and we put it in my office, we put it in front of the green wall, and I took the photo. And then we returned the chair, and the guy gave us our $20 back. And she has that hanging in her hallway, and she told me she will leave me the painting in her will.
I have an office mate who talks about love languages a lot. She just read some book, and she's like asking different people what their love languages are, which is like how you express affection for other people. And you know, some people do it through talking, some people do it through acts of service, some people are gift givers, but Allie is like an all of the above. She like loves people and she shows it in every way.
Her capacity to give is really has no limits, and it's just a big part of her nature.
We got these friendship goblets together at the Ren Fair.
I dance a little, and she invited me and Christy and our friend Nikki to be her backup dancers at one of her shows, and that was incredible. Like, never have I felt like I've gotten to shine, you know, on stage like that. She recognizes what other people have, and she brings it out of them.
She just like immediately made me feel at home for a place, because I was still just sort of starting to do my own stuff, like perform my own songs, put out records and stuff, and she was just always super supportive of whatever I was doing.
She just cares so much. She's a true blue, genuine friend, and I think she's very good at reading people's emotions, and even if you're saying on the surface, I'm fine, like she can see deeper than that.
I don't know, she's just like this powerhouse of character and like kind of extraness. Like, I don't know, just like just wherever she is, she's gonna, like, amazing things are gonna happen.
And Allie was excellent at making people feel welcome, certainly better than I was.
I would just be like, you know, being a dick about it. Allie is the type of person that like roots everyone on, you know? So for the Fergie's open mic, even if like someone wasn't the greatest or whatever, Allie was always like cheering for them and like making them feel like they just did like this great performance, and like she's like such a better person for that than I guess I am.
I think that'll be a huge mark that she leaves on Philadelphia, is just how welcoming she was to people. And
she's very encouraging. I have recently been contacted by a friend who recorded an open mic from years ago, back at the Fire. I think it was 2010, 2011 recording. And it was he told me he had this song that I wrote that I forgot that I had written. And I asked him, well, send it to me. Send me the recording because I'd like to remember this thing. And he sent it to me. And then I remembered the song, and it got to the end of the song, and there was just no sound at all, no applause. There was no, must have been either nobody in the room or everybody hated it. But then, you know, from the back, you could hear just this wild scream of enthusiasm cheering me on. And it was Allie. And that's what I mean when I say that she's there for everyone who's just getting started, everybody who's an accomplished musician in the city. She really embodied the sense of community.
As someone who's like a singer and not really, I don't write music, I don't do any of that, especially later on when she started writing her own stuff, like that was really inspiring to me. You know, like, so what if I haven't been doing it for, you know, my whole life? I can jump into it too.
It's actually driven by like a weirdness. A deadline's not gonna drive her.
Always great at liking my horrible jokes that even my friends are like, Brian, that's not a good one. She's always a good supporter.
She's so much the center of a certain scene. Like there's almost a scene that just like centers around Allie. So a part of me worries that I just won't even see certain people without her around, because she just like unites certain groups of people.
She was one of my first friends in Philly, really, and introduced me to probably half the people I know in the city, at least, you know, like so many people.
I met Justin through her, who became my roommate, who became one of my very, very close friends. And she sort of, even though she wasn't pushy, she facilitated like Reed and I getting together. And then she fucking married us. So there you go. I don't know how much more.
She snuck a Dave Matthews Band quote into, against Vanessa and my wishes, mostly against Vanessa's wishes. I secretly loved it. But yeah, she snuck that into the service.
She's really good at bringing people together, you know, that may not normally be in the same, you know, project or show or just group.
She does have this strange ability to be the nucleus of some of the great singer-songwriters that are operating in Philly right now, and I'm gonna miss that she can draw them all in and bring out the best in all of them too. She introduced me to everyone that I call a friend now in Philly, and my old band Satellite Hearts, we would open up for her and play with her for a brief period of time, and got to record like an unreleased material from an EP with our friend Reed, and it was just so easy to get to know her because she speaks from her heart.
I think when I first started in the Lawsuits, we sort of played with sort of the same people all the time. It was like Levy Drivers and Toy Soldiers, and she really helped to sort of expand you know, the people that I was involved with, and then started collaborating with different people.
Allie brings out this like joy of life in people and just gathers those people together so we can all share that. And that's a real gift to get from being friends with Allie.
And she says, when are you going to give me a job? And I said, listen, I'm going to tell you a joke, Allie, right? And she said, yeah. And I said, all right, so this guy is always talking to God, and he says to God, he says, like, God, do me a favor, help me win the lottery. Can I just win the lottery? Can I win the lottery? And this goes on for a long time, and then guy saying to God, hey, can I win the lottery? And then one day God speaks back to him and says, hey, do me a favor, buy a bloody ticket. So then I told Allie, fill out an application form, come and see me. And she did. And then I needed somebody at Fergie's, and then the rest is history.
Fergie making her apply for a job is funny. That sounds like a good Fergie gag.
People would meet and say, oh, they've been friends for a long time, you know, the Fergie spot, because she glued them all together. And we met, like, so many people, like, you know, Sarah Folger, like, I had a list, but it's mad all over the place, and just all these people came through. And then, like, you know, we're having the greatest open mic night in town.
It was just, like, kind of like a really good meeting place, like a good community for Philly musicians, to kind of come and feel comfortable, just kind of performing and trying out new stuff. But like Allie had a lot to do with making people feel, you know, that support and like that sense of community, and you know, it was just like a really fun environment. You know, not a lot of people want to hang out at open mics, but Allie definitely made it a place that you wanted to hang out at.
The open mic at Fergie's is not just an open mic. It's a songwriter circle. You know, it's an unofficial songwriter circle where I think probably, if not the best songwriters in Philly, definitely a certain class of songwriters in Philly like to go and share their songs. And, you know, that's what every open mic is in a way, but I think that a certain group that's really on their game right now has kind of found their way to Fergie's and made it their own little spot.
Well, it's not every day that an open mic has a bartender as talented as she is.
We had a band with Fergie called Hot Lager. I played guitar in Hot Lager, and she sang, and Fergie sang. It was really a scene. Like there was like there was just this great sort of magnetic sort of group of people that were just drawn to Fergie's open mic, and just incredibly talented. I've seen so many just great songwriters show up and just blow people away.
There's a balance. You want people that are really good and people that are not so good, so that everybody feels comfortable going up and doing their thing. And sometimes the balance is shifted more one way and sometimes more the other way. And I can definitely think of times that I went early on and it was like not great, and the fact that Allie was there behind the bar was like the main reason that I was there. And I definitely am going to keep doing it now in her absence, but it will be a little bittersweet because it was always great seeing her behind that bar and catching up, just having a beer, shooting the shit.
We spent every Monday night together for about 3 or 4 years. And we only really had a few lean weeks, and then eventually it just kind of became this amazing Monday night hang. So many people were off on Monday nights, musicians, just great musicians. We would have some amazing improvisations and jams, and just I got to play some really fantastic music.
That's the thing, like she was always so supportive. Like that's just the kind of person she is. And I think a lot of people wanted to keep going to the open mic for that reason, because they felt like they had a support system there that was always kind of built into Fergie's, and that was Allie.
There was an era of the open mic where I was there pretty much every single week, with this big solid group of people. It became a real community, and I also was a part of a burger club. Shout out Burger Club. Allie could never go because she was working and it was always on the Monday nights. But we would most often end burger night at Fergie's, and so it worked out for everybody. I think we even had burger night at Fergie's one time because their burger is banging.
Allie would get behind the bar, get out from behind the bar and sing, and people loved it. Also, I heard that bands on tour would stop by knowing about Fergie's open mic, and that seemed wild to me.
Yeah, it was a great learning space for me to be able to be exposed to that on a regular basis. It's kind of spoiled me in a way also. That kind of environment almost makes you less ambitious because it's not gonna get much better than this, so.
Felt like a lot of the people that I was used to seeing at the Fire had disappeared, and I asked, where did they all end up? And Allie's the one that told me, they're all at Fergie's, please come to Fergie's. so that's how I moved over.
Ugh, I could cry thinking about working with Allie. It was so fun. I might cry. I might cry. Even when it was boring, Allie would make fun games like Dare or Dare.
It was a perfect example of how the Philadelphia music community is about like support and not about competition. Like there was just such a positive feeling in the room. Like everybody was just there, like purely out of love, and everybody wanted to participate however they could.
She puts together a show. It's not just music, it's not just performing, it's a whole theatrical event, when you're at an Allie show. It's costume changes.
You look great. Alright, I need to change into this real quick.
Props, it's lighting cues, there's a whole spectrum when it comes to performing with her and seeing her perform. And that's one thing that I love about her, is just her ability to take something like performing and make it a spectacle.
There was no sense of like ego in any of it. Everybody was just doing it to be part of one last Allie Wadsworth event.
Being able to like see so many people come out for one person was incredible and emotional, and it was, it just shows that she's left a really big mark on this city. It was so funny because like so many people were like, I was working that night. So many people were backstage like, oh yeah, like, I know Allie, and I was like, that is not an excuse you can use tonight. Everyone in this room knows Allie.
I think I found someone, but you already have someone. Wish you could split.
What did she mean to you?
Oh my god. Allie's one of my favorite people in the whole world.
Continue to flourish and have these incredible journeys with old friends and new friends and your sister and, you know, sister-in-law. And yeah, I'm just so happy for you. I can't wait to see what you do out there.
I'm just gonna miss her.
I would just tell her to just don't change anything about yourself. Because you know, she lives her dream and she's doing it and, you know, she's making things happen. Keep singing. Never stop.
But she's one of those people that you see them when you see them and it's right there again as it was, picks right back up where you left it. So I look forward to that next time, whenever it is.
Allie, I wish you all the best in California, and I'll be seeing you soon because I will be there in October, and it's September now. So I can't wait to see you there, and I can't wait to see what it has in store for you and what you have in store for it.
I know that music will never stop being like a part of your life, but now that you're with Claire and that you guys are reunited, you have to take advantage of the force that you two carry, like the impact that you carry as people, and you know you gotta keep doing it and push forward, because like the song you just wrote, Down in Texas, like that song is a powerhouse, and I think you can do that whenever you want.
How many fucking times am I gonna have to celebrate the life of Allie Wadsworth?
She is just a very, very beautiful person. And also like a very beautiful friend.
I get it already. You're leaving.
I'm definitely gonna miss her. I think she's it is gonna be different within our little like group of people.
It's been going on forever. Do you guys remember the Rally for Allie? Yeah, which one?
She had been talking about going to California for such a long time that I'm so glad that she's finally doing it.
How many stages do I have to watch you thank all of your friends from?
I'm sad to see her go, but I know that she's gonna bring...
I'm sure all the flags in Philadelphia will be flying at half-mast the day you fly off.
Her love for everybody and people onto the next place that she goes, and I know that she'll continue to keep doing the things that she's doing to bring people together and create some magic.
It's time to go.
Thank you, Allie, for being present in our lives.
What I'm gonna miss about Allie is that like someone's birthday, someone's anniversary, someone's 4-day quit cigarettes. Like it's gonna happen where like Allie would like make a giant poster, something like giant. Allie is giant. Oh my goddess, I love you so much. I cannot believe that you're leaving, and also can believe that you're leaving. This is made for you. I knew it would happen one day. I love you so much, and I hope the freaking world for you. I want you to come back. Do I look like I've been crying?
No.
Allie, it's your buddy Jeffrey. How's it doing, babe? Heard you're going to California, baby. Sunshine and beaches. My dad, he likes California, but I like New York City, baby. Rock and roll. The Big Apple, baby. Could you see me? When life isn't treating you very well, arduous and boring, and all that you need is a fairy tale, and in your heart, you'll know it's true.
Allie, I love you. I know you're doing the right thing. You've always talked about it, and you're so brave for finally doing it. You got your shit together, you got it done. I'm so proud of you and I can't wait to come visit you all the fucking time. I'm not sad at all. This is what I'm telling myself. I'm not sad.
Allie, you have made Philadelphia my home. You have been a major part of that to me. You've introduced me to so many amazing people. You've provided an incredible friendship when I needed someone to talk to. You were there for me. We've had some real heart-to-hearts that have really changed my thinking. You have made this place, which I now consider home, a home. And I'm gonna miss you dearly. I know you'll be back, and I know I'll be out to visit you in California, but still, you will be very, very missed. I love you.
I know it probably has a lot to do with just friends. I feel like you can like any place if you have a bunch of really good friends. And I do. I have amazing friends. But Philly is great because it's small, but it's also huge. I mean, I walk down the street and I run into like 16 people I know and can't get anywhere without running into someone you know. But the music scene's great here. And I feel like everyone from a different city thinks their scene is the best, but I know that Philly's is the best. It's very incestuous and supportive and loving, and it's just crazy that many people would want to help me, you know. So I try to do what I can, but it's just ridiculous. It's time to move on. It's time to get going. What lies ahead, I have no way of knowing. But under my feet, babe, the grass is growing. Yeah, it's time to move on. It's time to get going.
All right, go ahead. We actually have audio this time.
You guys are good?
Yeah,
Oh,
if you
hi.
want to start from the top, too.
Cool. Hi, Allie. So I am here to read you something, to talk a little bit about you and how much I love you and how much you've changed me for the better. I'm gonna read something that someone gave to me many, many years ago, and I continue to always pull it out of the drawer and read it every once in a while in my life when I need it. I don't share it often. I share it with people who I absolutely love, and it's by a native elder. His name is Mountain Dreamer, and someone gave this to me many years ago, like I said. It's called The Invitation. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dreams, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it, to fade it, or fix it. I want to know if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes, without cautioning us to be careful, be realistic, or to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you're telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusations of betrayal and not betray your own soul. I want to know if you can be faithful and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it's not pretty. And if you can source your life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand on the shore of the lake and shout out to the silver of a full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after a night of grief and despair and do what needs to be done. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you come to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. I love you, Allie. And I think this is a very important little reading. It's always helped me through hard times. It's always made me examine myself. And I wanted to share that with you. And I also wanted to tell you, many years ago when we met, right from the get-go, we totally connected without even saying anything to each other. We have the same energy that is this beautiful fire that we have inside of each other of love and compassion and being funny and taking over the room, but being able to let other people shine as well. And it's so great that I met you that night and we've continued to be friends and we've shared many things together. And I know this is only the beginning. We talked last week about some important stuff while you're out there that you need to focus on, and that's what you're there for. Not many people have this window in their life to take advantage of, and you need to take advantage of this window that you're being offered right now. So get to writing, get to the music, get to the leather goods, get to yourself, and I will see you very soon, and I love you so much. Goodbye.
That was amazing.